For the community now, it's the first day to file your taxes, and for more on what you can expect is David Perez with Liberty Tax. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So let's first just talk about what paperwork people need to get together to make sure everything goes by smoothly.
Well, you got to have your W-2s, any financial documents that you receive from your bank, such as interest forms, if you go to school, your tuition statements, any document that says for tax reporting purposes. Most of the forms do say that. That's what we need you to provide. And not all of those forms are out yet. Most of them have to be delivered to you by the 31st, or at least mailed out by the 31st of this month. So we noticed that, there's still a lot of people who are missing documents, and as long as they understand that, as long as it says for tax reporting purposes,
right,
please bring it into our office.
And something that's fairly new that's come up is the Affordable Care Act, and that now plays a role in how you file your taxes.
Oh yeah, that's a huge thing, and that's an additional form that's required this year, which is the 1095A series. It helps people, of course, report what credits they received for health care this year through the Affordable Care Exchange. It's a very big form, because if you don't have that form or you're not providing it to your tax professional, you could have delayed returns, you could have further review by the IRS and such. So it's huge right now because of this. This is really the first year that we don't see a lot of people getting these exemptions that they would qualify for, so they really have to bring in these forms.
And what's scary too is last year was the first year, so this is the second year that there's now penalties because of the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, so we've, of course, in the second year or second round of penalties is $395, roughly $400 per person on the return. We do find a lot of people do pay this penalty, and because they choose not to get coverage, and they're not aware that there's affordable health coverage in the market out there for them. Our offices offer that assistance. We have licensed insurance agents to help people understand that it's probably better not to pay a penalty and just get health coverage regardless of what that premium is. It may be equal or less than what you have to pay in a penalty in most cases.
Okay, so the question most people want to know is, they're like, oh, I can do the taxes by myself. Why should they seek out a professional?
Well, I mean, obviously we get tons of people that come after tax season that have to either amend or fix changes or corrections to their return because they decided to file by themselves. Everybody wants to be, frugal. We're in a community that obviously wants to save money. I myself always want to save money, but there's some things in this world that you shouldn't try to save money on, that you need to go to a professional. One of those being a tax professional. We have your back. We understand the law. We update ourselves yearly and annually. We understand, the rules and regulations for claiming dependents, for claiming for credits. So if you incorrectly claim yourself for a credit or a dependent, you could be setting yourself back thousands of dollars. I always use the analogy as you pay somebody to change your oil so that, of course, if there's a problem or an issue, you won't run into those issues if you paid a professional to do it, because you could have, a blown motor if you don't do it right. Same thing with taxes. If you don't do them correctly, if you file for incorrect credits or get, dependency exemptions that you didn't qualify for, you could owe the IRS not only for this year, but if you've been doing it for several years,
then you could owe them even more than
thousands and thousands of dollars could be lost.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dave.